I never knew that glass was made the way it was. It sounds kind of naive, I know, but I didn't know that you made glass behind a torch by your hand. My name is Alec. I'm 27 years old and I go by Snuff Glass on Instagram. The first time I blew glass was a couple weeks after I found out how it was done. And I simply drove down to Home Depot and I got a Budsbie propane torch, and I found an old beer bottle and I put it in front of the flame and I saw that the glass actually melted and moved. And from that moment on, I was just truly amazed. I mean, I never knew that glass could become like almost a liquid in fire, and just seeing that up close just kind of sealed the deal that I knew this is something that I wanted to be into, because there's just nothing like it, really. The first thing I made, when I made it, it was solely out of my own mind. At that point in time, I hardly even knew about other glass blowers. I really didn't even know of the scene, of the culture, anything. Growing up in a fairly rural town in the middle of kind of nowhere, you know, you're not exposed to this sort of stuff, so it was all brand new to me. So I decided to make cannabis accessories because, you know, cannabis speaks to me, you know, as it does a lot of people. It's something that has helped me a lot throughout my life. It has a lot of medical properties, of course. If it wasn't for cannabis, I'd probably have to use, you know, pharmaceutical medicines to keep myself on an even keel, and nobody wants that. It's not the best thing for you and it's not healthy, so nature is the way. Dab tools are just something that, as a beginner, they're pretty easy to make, relatively speaking. That was where I started off, making dabbers, and then I just happened to get followed and get some attention from a guy that goes by Things from Stein Farm on Instagram. He liked my work, and he's, you know, a very known and reputable photographer in the cannabis industry. He purchased some of my work and used my dabbers for his cannabis concentrate photos. From then on, his use of my tools sort of spurred the rest of that part of the industry to kind of look at me for that tool, because they trusted Devin, Things from Stein Farm, and if they saw that he was using them, then they figured everybody should use them. Devin will never admit it, but he kind of set the standard for the industry in terms of taking pictures of cannabis concentrates on glass dabbers. It takes to make one of these dab tools. Colors come into play, specific tip style comes into play. For the customs I've been offering, I offer 4 different tip styles. They all kind of take me the same amount of time, but certain ones require a different amount of finesse. And then comes the colors. I have people that want custom colors specific to their brands that they're shooting for and stuff like that. So when I have a project like that, there's a lot of trial and error of finding the exact right colors that are compatible with each other and that work together. So something people really don't think about when it comes to glass blowing is the sheer complexity of what's involved. Different colors react to different flames differently. If your flame is too hot, a color will boil out and turn gray and look very bad, and it won't be pleasing to the eye. Whereas another color will show beautiful colors in that same aforementioned flame characteristic. It's extremely complex, and a lot of people don't really understand that. Inspiration for my designs, believe it or not, through music. That's one of my biggest inspirations. I love all art, I appreciate art, but music is like me. And I really draw a lot of inspiration from feelings that are present in songs that I like and whatnot. And it's a very abstract approach, and I want to have an abstract style of work. Some of the glass artists I look up to are Cameron Burns Glass. He's just a master, and he's truly just a really nice guy, and he is like what glass blowers should be. Another guy whose work I really appreciate is Original Gongster, Mike Gong. His work is just so thrilling. The community that he has formed around his glass is really an amazing thing to see. Another glass artist that really inspires me is Jason Lee Glass. This guy is, nobody compares to him. It's like you look at his glass work and then you look at everybody else's glass work, and it's like 2 totally different worlds. His work is such an inspiration. He's an inspiration. The path that he paved in the past to get us to the point we are now is, everything. The biggest challenge of being a glassblower is being viewed as legitimate in a sense by peers and whatnot, because a lot of people may think you're just making drug paraphernalia, blah, 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 but there really is a whole community and industry around glass where people have made livings off of it, and it's a fully respectable craft and it deserves to be respected. Ideally, in 10 years, I'd just like to be able to provide for myself and live a fairly comfortable life and be able to do what I do. I'm not trying to be a superstar or make a ton of riches, but to be able to just get by, pay my bills, have an all right car and a decent house doing glass, that's really the ideal situation and all I could ever ask for.